Hey guys, it's Sam Dyke here from Gym Wizards. Today I'm going to be bringing you a workout. I hope you guys are ready for this one. But before we start, we're going to chat about our social skill for today. And our social skill for today is thinking before you act. Now, this is such a powerful thing for us to talk about, okay, guys? Because a lot of the time we are just so filled up with so much excitement before we do an activity that we don't think about what's going to happen at the end. So, when jumping off, let's say, a diving board into a pool, and it's really really high, I know it's super exciting because if you love jumping off things into, and if you love swimming, it's just super exciting, but we don't actually think about what can happen when we jump off. Okay, now a lot of time when jumping into water, you're supposed to be landing with your legs first, or you could dive in depending on how deep it is. Okay, but now if you're just standing on the board and you want to jump off, and without knowing how deep the water is, you can get really hurt, because if the water's not deep enough and you're, say, let's say about my height, and the water's only about that height, when you jump off, you might hit the bottom. Okay? But you're so excited that you actually don't think about those things. And this doesn't have to be about diving into a pool. It could be racing your friend and you just really want to win, so you grab and you try and move them out the way while you're running. You don't actually think about that. If you pull them a bit too hard, they might fall, they could hurt themselves, and that's just not a good thing, okay, guys? Because remember, we don't want to get hurt. We want to have a lot of fun all the time, but we want to do this without getting hurt. All right? So thinking before you act is you always think about the end before you do something. So if it's riding a bicycle and you want to go over a little bump, just think, okay, let me go slowly over the bump. So at first, let me go slowly over the bump first, so that I can see how rough it is, or how high the bump is, or how it feels. Then you can go faster and faster, because then you already know how it is. But if you go fast straight in the beginning, you could fall, or you don't know what's on the other side. So you just want to test it out first, because you're thinking about the end, okay, going over the bump. You're thinking about how it's going to be at the end before you do it. And that applies to everywhere, guys. When you're busy working out at home, you want to make sure that everything's sharp, or anything dangerous is out the way, just in case you do, like, let's say, a cartwheel or handstand and you accidentally fall. You want to make sure that you are safe the whole time, that you're falling on something soft, like blankets or mats, anything that's soft, rather than falling like on a table or on any piece of equipment or an obstacle that's in the way there already. You'd rather want to think about the end, move everything out the way, so that you ensure your safety, because it's all about having fun whilst being safe, guys. With that, let's get our workout started. We're going to first do a movement to music for our warm-up. So guys, this is going to be moving our bodies, getting our bodies nice and warm, getting our heart rate up whilst the music is playing. Let me get the music playing. This is I think it's Girls Like You by Kids Bop. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get it started. Let's go, guys. Okay, so we're just going to start going. The first thing we're going to start off with the lunge, and then you can clap on the way up. Don't let your knee touch the ground, okay, guys? There we go. Getting those legs nice and warm whilst we're doing this. Make sure you keep your feet nice and flat on the floor. The leg that's in front, you want that foot to be flat, okay? You guys don't have to jump. You can just do your lunge and all the way up, just like that. Okay, now we're going to get ready for squat. Bend your legs at 90 degrees, come up to the one side and clap. There we go. Nice, guys. Have your legs just wide open. Now we're going to rock and roll. And you want to stand up. You can add a little jump if you want to. There we go. Now, I want to see you guys, safety landing, come up. Bend those legs, arms out in front of you. This is how we're going to be landing when we jump in. And it's working our legs as well. There we go. Nice, guys. Bend, bend, bend. And now, bend, and you can come up again. And let's add our squat. with our clap. Nice. You can go up onto one foot if you want to. Make sure you keep your feet nice and flat. There we go. We're going to feel your heart rate's going up. Let's add those rock and rolls. All the way up. Nice, guys. Now we're going to hop on one leg, okay, guys? Land on those toes. You can start on your right leg or your left leg. Now going on to the other leg. There we go. You can pretend that you're skipping. Now legs together. There we go. And let's rock and roll again. Last thing we're going to do, squat and up again. There we go. Nice one, guys. That was our movement to music. Woo! You're going to feel that your breathing's gotten a lot deeper. You feel your heart is pumping. Body's nice and warm. Now we're going to stretch up. So what I want you to do is open up those legs. These are called stretch and lean. We're going to be stretching the sides of our body. Okay. Try and keep your legs straight. Lean to the one side. Make sure your body doesn't drop. Keep your body up nice and straight. One hand can be over here or down like this. Just make sure you're feeling the stretch the whole way down. And down to the other side. Make sure you're feeling the stretch. Keep that body up properly. There we go. Now remember, guys, you don't have to follow along exactly with me. Do the movements, but if you feel that you can stretch a bit longer, pause the video, stretch, and once you feel that you've stretched out, carry on with the video and keep on going, okay? Remember, we are all different. We all have different flexibilities. So if you're feeling a bit stiff in one area, pause the video, stretch a bit longer, and then carry on. Okay, keeping those legs open. Not too wide, just outside shoulder width apart. Keep those legs nice and straight. And you want to go down as far as you can without bending those legs. So you feel the stretch from your calves all the way up into your hamstrings. Keep those legs as straight as possible. And hold that there. Remember, guys, you want to hold your stretches for about 15 to 30 seconds. But if you need to hold it for longer, hold it a bit longer. There we go. Kick that out. Nice, guys. Now you can sit down. Now you want to have one hand on each leg. Keep your legs open. The reason why we have our legs slightly open is so that when we roll, our nose does not hit our knees. Our knees are super hard, so we don't want our nose or our chin or our eyes or our teeth to hit that. Keep it a little bit open, so if you roll a bit too much, you have some space. Just do about 3 rock and rolls. Keep your chin tucked in. Make yourself into a nice ball. And now we're going to go up into a bridge, holding it for about 10 seconds, okay? So you can go into a small bridge, placing your hands behind you, pushing your bum up into a nice tabletop position. This is called small bridge. You can hold that for 10 seconds. Or you can lie down nice and flat, bend those legs, put your hands down, and you can push up into the bridge like that for 10 seconds, okay? Let's go. Try and get those arms nice and straight. You want your head off the floor, feeling the stretch in your back. You're going to hold this for about 10 seconds. And then when you guys come down, look up, come down slowly, and let's rock and roll again, okay? So every time you guys do an arch movement, you want to do a round movement. So our bridge was our arch because our back was arched, and then we go into a rock and roll afterwards. That is just the rule, guys. Even if you do a stretch like this is called a cobra stretch. Every time you do that, you want to go into a child pose afterwards. Cobra was our arch, child pose was our round. Okay, now let's work on our toes and our ankles. So what we're going to do first is you're just going to flex those toes as hard as you can. You want to squeeze those legs, lift up those toes. You're going to feel a big stretch over here in your shins as well as your calves. And then you guys want to point it as hard as you can, feeling the stretch. Flex it one more time. Get a nice stretch in those calves and in your shins. And let's point that again. There we go. Now you guys can stand up. You're going to put your one toe on. You're just going to give it a nice twirl. Make an ankle in a circle. Getting those ankles nice and warm. We're going to be on our feet a lot during this workout, so we just want to make sure we're nice and warm, all our joints and all our muscles. Do the exact same on the other foot. Just make sure it's nice and warm. There we go. Now we're going to do some wrists. You guys can do your wrists while standing. I prefer doing them on the ground because a lot of time when we're doing handstands and all those different things, our hands are going to be on the ground, not in the air. Okay. So have your hands shoulder width apart, making sure that your hands are in line with your shoulders, and you're going to make sure your fingers are pointing forward. Get your hands close to those knees, and you want to lean forward on your wrists without lifting it off the ground. Okay, you want to keep your hands flat, lean forward, and you're going to feel the pressure on those wrists, and that's what we want. Okay, you're stretching them out, so lean as far forward as you can with your shoulders. Keep your hands nice and flat, and this is going to help us when we do all the movements on our wrists because our wrists are going to be nice and warm. So you're going to hold this for about 15 seconds. Now you're going to turn your hands to the side, making sure your fingers are pointing. You guys always want to go in the direction of your fingers. So if your fingers are facing forward, go forward. Hands, your fingers side to side, go side to side. And the same applies when you go backwards. So get those hands close to those knees, fingers side to side, and don't lift up those hands. But now you're going to put pressure on your wrists, going side to side for about 15 seconds, so half and half on each side. Or you can go about 16 times, so 8 to each side, which is roughly like 15 seconds, pretty much the same. And then once you guys are done with that, you're turning your wrist all the way to the back, but now instead of your hands being close to your knees, you want to put it as far forward as you can. But now this is quite a sore one, so you want to lean as far back as you can without lifting up your hands, and you're going to feel the stretch all the way up your forearm, from your wrist into your forearm. And you just want to hold that again for just about 15 seconds. Make sure you get a good stretch in your wrist and in your forearm. There we go. You guys can rock slowly forwards and backwards, just slightly. It doesn't have to be big. You don't want to go back too far. You don't want to hurt yourselves. Shake it out. Now, you're going to switch your wrists down like this. Hands on the ground, and lightly push your wrists into the ground. Your arms can be slightly bent. You guys don't want to put too much pressure on. You don't want to hurt yourselves. So just slight pressure and shake it out. All right, guys, that was our warm-up and our stretch. You can quickly go get some water. We're going to start off with our first skill, and it's going to be palm spins. Okay, so what I want you to do is go get a little mattress. You can use a pillow, any kind of obstacle that looks similar to this. Okay, it doesn't have to be exact. Now remember, you just want it to be about shin height. Okay, just above ankle, right into your shin. You don't want to be higher than that, and that's the first height you want to start off when you're doing your palm spins. Okay, now the first thing we're going to start off with is bunny hops, because that is the basic or the foundation of your palm spin. Okay, so you want to get some really nice bunny hops, but not just jumping over the obstacle. You want to be getting it nice and high. So at first, your obstacle width shouldn't be more than half a meter, okay? Because then you're going to be jumping too far, and that's what we don't want. We don't want to have about a meter or longer than that, only about a half a meter. And what you want to do is, you want to put those hands down, make sure your fingers are pointing away from you, down in the same direction, and you just want to jump over with those legs together. Keep them bent, land nice and softly on the other side, okay? I'm going to show you what it looks like from this side. Fingers facing forward, legs together, jump nice and high, keep those knees together, and jump. And you guys can do that about 10 times, get that feel. And what you want to do is, you want to make sure that you're getting as high as possible, okay? So a nice conditioning exercise to get your shoulders and your arms nice and ready for this is just normal bunny hops. Make sure the fingers are pointed forward, keep your arms nice and straight. And you can jump, kick that bum, come down nice and slowly. And that is activating the legs. Okay, that's why we'll warm up, which is full legs. It's going to activate those legs to push up all the way. And that's what we want. But then you want to be going all the way over the obstacle, getting that distance. Okay, but that's why we start off with a small distance first. We don't want to be jumping too far. Okay, you guys can do that about 10 times. Going to each side, just like that. Once you guys have got the feel for that, then we get into the actual palm spins, okay? You guys are going to see how similar a bunny hop is to that. But now, with our palm spins, okay, your hand placement is super, super, super important. Now, with your cartwheels, you guys have a dominant leg. You either put your left leg or your right leg in front. Now, palm spins work in the same way, okay? Because we have a side that we feel more comfortable with. So if you do a cartwheel on your left leg, okay, that means your left leg's going to be down first, your left hand's going to come first, and you're going to do a cartwheel that way. You want to put that leg first, other leg behind, but now, what's opposite to that is that you're not going to put the same hand with the same leg. Your first hand must be your opposite to the leg that you do your cartwheel on. So if you do your cartwheel on your left leg, you're going to put your right hand down first, and then you're going to put your left hand down afterwards, and you want to put them down having your thumbs pointing in the same direction. Okay? Just like this. Thumbs pointing in the same direction. One hand on top, one hand over here. Just like so. Both thumbs are facing forward. And what we want to do is you want to jump, spin, land on top of the obstacle, and then jump off. Okay? What your hand is going to do, your right hand is going to go all the way around, and then both your thumbs are going to be facing forward like that. Okay? So, if you do your cartwheel on your left leg, put your opposite hand down first. Opposite to your left is your right, so put your right hand down first, then your left hand. But because you do your cartwheel on your left hand, on your left leg, your left hand is your spinning element. Okay, so you guys can think of a spin top that you throw on the ground and it spins on that one thing. Okay, your left hand is going to be your spinning hand. So when you jump, you are going to jump, spin, land with your other hand, make both thumbs face each other, leaving your left hand on there. When you jump off, you want to lift up your right hand. Land nice and softly. So you've started in one point, jumping all the way around. What you guys can do to help you a bit, you guys can use dots or markers. So I've got a green one over there. I've got a yellow one over there. So I know that green is my start, and yellow is going to be where I finish. Let's actually do it like this. So green is where I start, red is going to be where I finish. So I do my cartwheel on my left leg, so I'm going to start over here. Right hand down first, then my left hand. As soon as I jump, I'm going to lift up my right hand, land with my two thumbs facing each other, and then I'm going to finish on the red. And the same thing, guys, applies when you do it on the other side. If you do a cartwheel on your right leg, okay, if you do it on your right leg, you want to make sure that you put down your left hand down first, then your right hand, remember, thumbs facing in the same direction. As soon as you jump, you want to bring your thumb all the way around, making them face the same way. But now your right hand must stay down, okay? Because we do our cartwheel on our right leg, your right hand and right arm becomes the spin. So as soon as you jump, you're going to lift up your left hand and your right hand's going to stay down. Landing all the way on the red. You guys can practice that a few times, get nice and comfortable. You want to try and do it as fast as you can. So you want to go on top and then off. Do that a couple of times. Then we get into the more difficult one where we spin all the way around without putting our feet on, and then that is a palm spin, okay? We call it a palm spin because this is your palm. You're doing it on your palm, and when you jump, only one of your hands stay on the whole time because you spin on that one arm. So you've got to keep your arm nice and strong as you're doing it, okay? I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to start over here on my green. I want to finish over there on the red. You don't have to land on it, but you want to make sure that you're going all the way around and landing on the opposite side. So I'm going to get going. Remember, the harder and the bigger you jump, the easier it's going to be. You still want your hand placement, but as soon as you jump, you're going to lift up your right hand. So if you do your cartwheel on your left leg, you're going to make sure that you lift your right hand and only spin on your left hand. So you're going to jump nice and high, spin on the one hand, lifting up the other arm, and you guys can land on the other dot. I didn't jump high enough on that one. So when you jump, you want to spin all the way around and land like that, okay? Spinning on the one arm. Same thing applies on the other leg, guys. You want to jump nice and hard, lift up, and you want to spin all the way around, land on the other side. Practice that and practice that. Once you guys find that nice and easy, you can raise the height, okay? When you raise the height, I'll show you what it looks like. You don't want it too high. You only want to go to about knee height. So you can put another one down, making it higher. And then you can start off doing this again. Practicing this, jumping in on top first, then off. Once you got the feel of that, you can add a little bit of a run up. Hands down, spin all the way around. And there you guys have your palm spins, okay? Quickly go get a sip of water, guys. Make sure you're getting hydrated. And now, we're going to get into our Kong vault. Okay. Now, you're probably thinking, Coach Sam, what is a Kong vault? Or what is a vault? Okay. So, guys, a vault is a parkour movement. Okay. It's a parkour movement. And the reason why it's a vault is because you want to get over an obstacle as quickly, precisely, and most efficiently using the vault, okay? And we have different kind of vaults. So if you want to picture a block about this high, not too wide, but about this high, if you're running, instead of stopping, climbing over, walk, and then going down, that takes quite a long time. You'd rather jump and do like a cool movement over it that is faster than climbing over, so it gets you over faster, and it's a lot easier than just climbing all the way over, because you're already running, so you want to use your running to get all the way over. Okay, so with our Kong vault, we are going to start off doing something called a basic Kong. Okay, because what a Kong vault is popping off your hands onto your feet. So let's start off just doing this, keeping your legs together, keeping it nice and bent. You're going to put your hands down, then your feet. So what you can use is your verbal cue for your kids is going hands, feet, hands, feet, hands, feet. And when you land in, you want to make sure that your knees are between your arms. So hands, feet, knees are in between my arms. So you don't want to have them too close. Have them just outside shoulder width apart. Hands, feet, hand, feet. And that's a basic Kong, or another name for that is called cheetah runs. And as you guys progress that, you can get them faster. So you can go hands, feet, hands, feet, hands, feet, hands, feet. Okay. Then what you want to do next is get the pop action going. Okay. So with the pop, you want to make sure that the hands are rolling and pushing away from the ground, just like that. So you want to pop off the hands and land on the feet, like so. Pop all the way off, and you want to land on those feet, okay? And get them longer and longer, going hands, feet, hands, feet. Okay, you guys can do this over a whole space of like 5 meters, whatever space you have, get them going. It's working a lot of shoulders and a lot of arms, so you want to make sure you're popping off and landing, get a good break, get some water in between, practice that a few times. And then the next step is going off 1 foot into your Kong. Okay, so we know that a Kong is this, just hands and then feet. That's a basic Kong. But now you're going to do the exact same thing, but going off 1 foot. So you're going to put 1 foot down, going onto your hands, and just do one of those. Okay, you guys can slowly but surely increase your distance. So if I'm using this yellow dot, I want to make sure that I put my hands on that yellow dot. So I can start a bit further back, and I go like, okay, 1 step onto the yellow, getting my Kong nice and far, going, and then landing. Okay, you don't want to land on the same dot. You want to make sure that you land a bit forward, popping off those hands, and landing on the floor with your legs together. Okay, once you guys have got that on flat floor, you can get a little bit of an obstacle. So the same thing we used for our palm spins, you can use for your Kong. Remember, only 1/2 meter. You don't want it too wide, because then it's going to be a lot more difficult to try and get all the way over. Now, you can practice what you've done on flat floor with your obstacle. So 1 foot, but now instead of going all the way over, you can land on top of the obstacle and then jump down. So hands, pop, land on top, then off. Practice that a couple of times. Make sure that you're getting the pop. Remember, in your Kong, your pop is the most important thing. So you want to pop and bring your knees through, okay? Through the arms. You don't want to go around the arms. You want to go through like we practiced right in the beginning. So 1 foot, pop, land, and onto your feet as fast as possible, okay? You want to land on top and then land off as fast as possible. Once you guys have got that down, now you're going to go all the way through without putting your feet on the obstacle. So 1 step, pop, and land. Just like that, nice and simple, okay, guys? So remember, have your obstacle not too wide at first. You can increase the width as you progress and as it becomes a lot more easier for you. But in the beginning, you don't want to have it wide. You can even have it smaller than this, okay, to make it a little bit easier. So practice going 1 foot, pop. And the secret to this is, guys, when you put your hands on, you don't want your hands in the beginning of the obstacle. You want to try and get your hands as close to the end as possible. Because if you put your hands over here, you got to bring your body all the way through over this distance, which makes it quite difficult. So you want to either put your hands in the middle. Best is to try and get them as far in front as possible. I'll show you. I'll show you by putting my hands in the front. Makes it really difficult to jump over. My feet almost clip there, and that becomes dangerous. You don't want to hurt yourself. So you want to get your hands close to the end to make it a bit easier, because then you're jumping further away. Okay? Just like the palm swings, guys, once you've got this height down, you can raise the height, but don't make it higher than knee height, okay? Because then that becomes very dangerous, and because if you fall, you don't want to get hurt. Remember, think before you act. So I know you guys feel like you could be really, really good, and that's great. But think about it, if it's too high and you fall off, you could get hurt, and we don't want that, okay? So you guys can always increase the height. Don't make it too high. So you can get another one of these green things, just like that. Put it down, and now you do the exact same thing. What you can do at first is jump on top and then off. So 1 foot on, and then off, and then as you guys get comfortable with the height, you can go all the way over, trying to get those hands all the way to end, pop it off, okay? So go, pop all the way over, and land like a cat on the other side. There we go, guys. That was our Kong vault. Quickly go get a sip of water, and we're going to be doing our functional fitness. Guys, functional fitness is so great because it strengthens our body, makes us nice and strong, and it gets us ready for our movements, okay? So the more functional fitness that we do, we're going to strengthen our core, our upper body, our lower body. We're also working on our mind, our mental fitness, and that makes our movements, like our palm spins and our Kong vaults, a lot easier, okay? It goes into handstands, cartwheels, forward rolls, makes it so much easier when we're nice and strong, okay, guys? So we got 6 movements in our functional fitness. I'm going to be showing you how to make them more difficult and easier depending on you. I'm also going to be telling you how many you should be doing. So every movement that I show you first is going to be the intermediate or the medium level, okay? And then I'm going to show you how to make it easier and then how to make it more difficult. All right, guys? The first movement that we have is our shoulder lever lifts, okay? So this is going to be the medium, the intermediate. We want your hands shoulder width apart. You want your shoulders just in line with your hands. You're going to go like this, and you're going to lift up 10 times on each shoulder, okay? You're going to lift up your arm, trying to keep your body nice and straight. Lift up those arms nice and straight. You don't want it to be too fast. You don't want to be like this, okay? And you don't want to have your bum in the air or down too low. Keep your body nice and straight, and you lift up each arm 10 times, okay? This is working on our core and our shoulders. Make sure that you feel the contraction in that shoulder, and you're going to do that 10 times on each shoulder, okay? That was the medium, okay? Then if you want to make it easier, you can put your knees and your toes on the ground, keep a nice straight body, and then you do the same thing. Lifting up one arm at a time, trying to keep your body straight, and you're still going to do 10 each arm. Then if you want to make it a little bit more difficult for yourselves, get yourself a little height. Remember, you can start off nice and low, and you can get higher and higher. So this is about just above ankle height, so it's about just shin height. You can put your feet on, go into a front support, keeping your body nice and straight, and you guys perform the same thing, lifting one arm up at a time, making sure you feel the contraction in your shoulder, and you're also going to do 10 on each side, okay? Then we have a tricep bow, okay? This is working on our tricep. We have 3 muscles over here. This is what makes your arms look really big, okay? Your triceps, very important muscle, because it helps us with our chest muscles. It helps us, get up. You know, when you guys are sitting down and you get up, you guys are using your triceps to get up, okay? So a tricep bow looks like this. This is the intermediate or the medium level. Your hands are going to be just a little bit in front of you. inside shoulder width apart. Okay, so not like this. Hands inside, fingers facing forward. You're going to go into a front support just like this. And now you're going to put those elbows down on the ground and lift all the way up. Down on the ground, lift all the way up. And this is working on our triceps. Okay, guys? You're going to do about 5 to 10 depending on what you're feeling like. So you can do 5. If you can do 5, that's perfect. Try and do 6. Try and do 7. Try and do 8. Try and do 9. Try and do 10. Don't do more than 10 because we've got 6 exercises to get through. Okay, so if you're going to do like 40 or 50 or 60 tricep bows, you're going to be super, super tired and you won't be able to do the rest. Okay, so to make your tricep bows easier, you're going to put your knees on the ground, toes on the ground, and same thing. You want to make sure that your hands are just slightly in front of you. Keep your body straight, down into your elbows, push all the way up. And now, if you guys are doing this one, I want you guys to aim for 10, okay? Because it is a bit easier like this, so try and go all the way to 10. If you can do about 15, that's even better. Okay, guys? Then if you want to make it more difficult, you're going to perform the same thing as the intermediate, except your feet are going to be raised. So you put just more pressure onto your triceps, just making it a bit more difficult. And you guys are also going to do 5 to 10, just like that. All right, guys? Now remember, you're performing all these exercises after each other with no rest in between. So you're going to do your shoulder lever lifts and then get straight into your tricep bow. Okay? And then we have a lateral lunge. Okay? And this is what a lateral lunge looks like. This is our intermediate. You guys are going to do 10 on each leg. So you want to open up your legs just slightly wider than shoulder width, making sure that your toes are pointing at an angle. So you're making like a V with your toes. If you go to the one side, you want to keep your foot flat on the ground and keep this leg straight. So if you're going to go to your right side, okay, so the left side for you guys, you're going to go all the way down, keeping this leg nice and straight, that foot flat on the ground, just to 90 degrees. You guys don't want to go more than 90 degrees, okay? Just down to 90 degrees, you're going to feel the pressure in your quad, come all the way up, and then do the exact same on the other side, making sure that you do 10 to each side, okay? Keep your feet flat on the ground, okay? Don't lift them up. That's our intermediate. To make it a bit easier, you're still going to do 10 on each leg. Still have your toes slightly pointed out, but the leg that you're going to, that's going to stay 90 degrees, but then this leg can bend a little bit, okay? So if you want to go down to your left side or to the right side for you, have this leg just slightly bend, and you don't have to worry about it being straight, okay? And there we go. Just making it a bit easier. You know, you're not focused on keeping your leg straight. You can have it slightly bent, but still do 10 on each leg. Then to make it a bit more difficult, if you want to go down to this side, instead of having your your leg straight and your foot flat, you're still going to have your leg straight, but you're going to raise and flex your toe, okay? So if you're going to go down to this side, raise and flex that toe, still going to 90 degrees. Going down to the other side, raise and flex that toe. Just down like this. And you're still going to do 10 on each leg, okay, guys? That is our lateral lunge, working our leg muscles, okay? Then we have our bridge kick, okay? This is also going to be working on our legs, but it's also working on our glutes, okay, which is our bottom muscles, and also our hamstrings, which is in our legs, a little bit in our calves. So this is called a bridge kick. You're going to do 8 on each leg, okay? So you're going to raise one of your legs, keep that nice and straight. You want to make a straight line from your toe into your shoulder when you lift up. So from your toe, straight line into your shoulder, and you're lifting up with this leg. You're going to feel the squeeze in your glute, in your hamstring, and in your calf. Keep your foot flat at 90 degrees. Bring your bum down, and you're going to bring it up like this 8 times on each leg. Okay? Then to make it a bit easier, instead of this leg being straight, you can have it slightly bent, not worrying about it, and you can just lift up like this 8 times on each leg. Don't worry about keeping the leg straight. You're still going to feel the squeeze in your glute, hamstrings, and everything, but you don't have to worry about keeping it straight. Then if you want to make it more difficult for yourselves, get a little raised surface, and now get those legs nice and straight again, or the one leg straight, and you're going to lift up like that, and you're going to feel there's more activation in your hamstring and in your glute because you're on a raised surface. But try and keep that foot flat, okay? And you're going to still do 8 on each leg. All right, guys? Then, for our last two exercises, we're going to be doing core. Okay, for this one, it's going to be called a V-sit. Okay, so this is our intermediate or medium level. You're going to go onto your bum. You're going to lift those legs, keep them as straight as possible. Don't touch those legs, and you're going to make a V with your legs and with your body, arms out in front of you, and you guys are going to hold this just for 15 seconds. Try and keep those legs as straight as possible, just like that, and that's our V-sit, okay? If you want to make it a bit easier for yourself, you're still going to hold it for 15 seconds, but instead of having your legs straight, you're going to have them slightly bent, and you're still holding. This is called a tuck V-sit. So bent legs, but you still got a V with your quad and your body, and you guys are going to hold this for 15 seconds. And then for our most advanced movements, okay, you want to try and get your knees as close to your face as possible when going into a V, okay? So this is our intermediate. So for our advanced, you want to try and get it as close as possible. Ooh, it's quite difficult. And hold that for 15 seconds, okay? My legs were even shaking busy doing that, okay? Hold that for 15 seconds, and then our last exercise is speed skaters. Okay, this is working on our explosive power on our legs. Okay, our intermediate one is you're going to be doing 6 on each leg. So when you jump, you want to land and you want to run. Okay, so you want to land. If you're landing on your left leg, you want your opposite hand up in front of you. Jump into the one side, and you're going to do 6 on each leg with a little hop. Okay. Up and down, jump to the side. Up and down, jump to the side. Okay, 6 on each leg. That's our intermediate. To make that a bit easier, you are not going to add a jump. So you're just going to jump from side to side, 6 on each leg. And then to make it a bit difficult, you guys are going to add a half turn. Okay, so for our most advanced, you're also going to do 6 on each leg. But when you jump to the one side, you're going to get those legs together. And then you're going to jump again. Legs together, and then jump to each side, making sure that you land and you do 6 on each leg. Okay, guys? So that was our functional fitness. We only did 1 round. I want you guys to pause the video, and I want you to try and do another 2 to 4 rounds. And I want you guys to have no break. You're going to go do a shoulder lever lifts, tricep bow, lateral lunge, bridge kick, V-sit, and speed skaters as fast as you can, okay? You're going to do 10 shoulder lever lifts. You're going to do 5 to 10 tricep bows. Lateral lunge, you're going to do 10. Bridge kick, you're going to do 8 on each leg. V-sit for 15 seconds. And then speed skates, you're going to do 6 each. Remember, do them as fast as you can, all of them with no break in between. Then right at the end, you want to rest for about 60 seconds. And then do them all again, okay? Try and do 2 more rounds to 4 more rounds so that you either do 3 altogether or you're doing 5. Okay, guys? It's going to make you super strong, so you pause the video because right now we're going to do a cool down, okay? So, with our cool down, the first thing we want to start off with, since we worked a lot of our legs today, you want to make sure that you stretch them out. So, guys are going to sit in a pike, okay? This is keeping your legs nice and straight. Squeeze your muscles, and you're going to go down as far as you can without bending your legs. You're going to feel a nice stretch in your calf all the way into your hamstrings. Okay, so you want to try and get your nose to touch those knees, okay, or go close as possible without bending your legs. So, look here, I'm getting my nose to my knees, but my legs aren't straight, so I'm not getting a good stretch. I'd rather have you guys do this and feel the stretch than have them bent. Okay, so go down and hold it as far as you can, just for 15 seconds. Make sure that you get a nice stretch. Keep those legs as straight as possible. And there we go. Next stretch we're going to do is we're going to work on our shoulders, because we did work a lot of our shoulders today doing our Kong vault, our functional fitness, and our palm spins. So you're going to put your hands behind you, bend those legs, and then you want to move your bum as far forward as you can, lifting up your chest so you get a good stretch from your arm into your shoulder all the way down. And move down as far as you can until you feel a good stretch, and you're going to hold that again for 15 seconds. Lifting that chest the whole time. Such a great stretch, guys. You can do this at any time of the day when you're feeling a bit tight, especially if you guys have been sitting all day at school, or if you're just feeling tight because you might have hurt your shoulder, or you've hurt something, or you're just feeling like you need a good stretch, because stretching is really good for you. Get this stretch, do it about 15 to 30 seconds, and I promise you'll feel good. After this, you're going to slide your bum back, You're going to feel a little bit of tightness over here, so just shake that out. And the last thing we want to do is just, you can go on your knees, you can sit down, you can stand, and you're just going to move your head side to side. The great thing about cool downs as well, guys, is because throughout the whole workout, your heart is pumping a lot of blood to your body, your heart rate's up, you breathe in heavy. So with a cool down, it's a chance for our heart to normalize, get it nice and slow again. You don't want your breathing to be as heavy. So during our cool down, you can also breathe in through your nose, just like this, and then out through the mouth, nice and slowly, and you'll feel that you won't be breathing as deeply, and your heart rate will get lowered. Let's look down. Make sure you guys are feeling the stretch at the back, and let's look all the way up. And there we go, guys. That was our workout. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Remember, I want you guys to go and do those functional fitness, an extra 2 to 4 times, get nice and strong. Then, guys, when you're practicing your palm spins and your Kong vault, safety points for your palm spins, making sure that when you're spinning on your arm, keep that arm nice and straight. Go back in the video and make sure that you got the correct hand placement. Very, very important, okay, guys? Make sure you got the correct hand placement. And for your obstacle, don't make it too high at first. Start down low and build yourself up slowly. Kong vault, remember you want to keep your arms nice and straight when you pop in. Focus on bringing the legs through the arms to ensure safety and the correct positioning of your body when you're landing, okay? Because if you're bringing those body skew, you might land funny. Remember, you want to think before you act, okay? That was our social skill, guys. Remember, you always want to think of the end outcome before doing anything, whether it's sport, whether it's at school, whether it's even saying something, guys. Even saying something is so, so important. You don't want to say something and then only think after you've said it, oh my word, I shouldn't have said that. That was something bad. It might have hurt someone. When you're thinking, even when you're angry and you're so angry and you just want to say something, think before and be like, that actually might hurt someone's feelings. Let me rather not say it. And that's great, guys, because if you say it without thinking before, you might hurt someone's feelings. It could be something that you didn't actually mean because you were so angry. So, guys, that's why thinking before you act is so, so powerful. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the workout, and I'll see you guys next time. Drink some water, guys. Keep safe. Bye-bye.